This is the climax of competitive freeriding. A renowned challenge feared among athletes. A giant maze with no room for hesitation, no room for mistakes. This is Xtreme Verbier 2021.
Welcome to the 25th anniversary of the Xtreme Verbier, the grand finale of the Freeride World Tour, held on one of the most intimidating faces in the sport of freeriding, the Bec de Rosses in Verbier, Switzerland. Nestled into the heart of the Swiss Alps, this world-renowned resort has played host to the Xtreme since 1996 and is forever rooted in the history of the sport of freeriding, thanks to its superior slopes, incredible backcountry terrain, and of course, the mighty Bec de Rosses. The contest can't be held on the main face of the Bec de Rosses this year, as Tour Commissioner Lolo Bess explains.
So here we are, one day before the competition. It was a very big struggling to actually choose the venue. We went up this morning with the head mountain guide, Jan Rosis, and myself, check on the conditions on Le Bec de Rosses. Yesterday we had very strong wind, about 100 kilometers an hour of wind, scraped out all the good snow from the face. And even though it was possible to go down the Bec, it wasn't possible, or it's not possible for safety reasons, to run a competition in those kind of snow conditions. So decision has been taken. Competition is confirmed from Le Petit Bec.
The Little Bec, or Petit Bec as it's known locally, is a northeast-facing part of the mountain. At 405 meters, the descent is shorter but nearly as steep, with technical passages and cliffs similar to those found on the main peak. However, like this year, the snow quality is often superior, and it offers features better suited to freestyle-oriented airs, two qualities that many of the riders find more to their liking.
Yes, we got pretty big changes this morning. We go over to the Petit Bec because the snow conditions are too variable. The Petit Bec is a super good venue, more technical and more squeezed together.
Conditions are pristine on the face this morning. Everything is set for a great day of freeriding. The first contest will be the snowboard women, but we already know who is world champion before the grand finale. With her third win in a row, reigning three-time world champ Marion Haerty claimed her fourth world title at the last event, while Katie Anderson and Erica Vikander are tied for second place. A win today would make it 3 in a row on the Bec for reigning Xtreme champion Marion Haerty, and would also make her the first athlete to win every event in a single season on the Freeride World Tour. Here comes Marion, taking her first turns on the Petit Bec and dropping an air there. Unfortunately, going back seat on the landing, but she is back up on her feet and already lining up her second feature. Another clean air, this time under control and a perfect landing. Now linking a few turns, just getting her bearings back. Once again, the top part of the Petit Bec is very steep, somewhere around the 45 degrees, lining up another feature here. That is a big drop into the powder. She stomps that one and is coming down to another mandatory cliff on exit there, and another perfectly executed air into the powder. You can see how fast she's going there onto her heel edge to slow down a little bit and regain control as she comes into the arrival area here at the bottom of the Petit Bec. What a run. There it is right there, sitting down on the landing of that first drop up the top of the Petit Bec, but after that, it's perfection from the four-time world champion. Marion Haerty is waiting patiently for her score. 70 points, not a perfect run, but solid enough for first place.
I failed on the top.
With her lucky rabbit along for the ride, rookie Katie Anderson puts her board control skills honed on the pro boardercross circuit to good use, linking fast and fluid turns with a few well-controlled airs thrown into the mix to claim second place on the Petit Bec. As smooth and stylish as ever, Erica Vikander carves her way onto the Xtreme Verbier podium for the first time. Marion Haerty is now a three-time Xtreme Verbier champion. Katie Anderson takes second place, and Erica Vikander finishes third. In the final 2021 Snowboard Women Freeride World Tour rankings, it's Haerty, the four-time champion, with Anderson and Vikander completing the podium.
I want to push myself further. I want to push the level further. And this is why maybe I win today. I ride for me. I'm not in competition against the other girls. I'm against in competition with myself.
Next up today are the ski women, finishing off a very competitive season. Tour leader Hedvig Wessel has been the standout skier this year and will be crowned world champion if she's victorious here in Verbier. But mathematically, any of the ski women can win the world title today. Former alpine ski racer Juliette Villeman has progressed immensely this year. She has a legitimate shot at winning the Xtreme and the world title, but it's not to be as she fails to land the biggest jump of the day. Poland's Zuzanna Witek puts everything she's learned from living and riding in the Swiss Alps into a satisfying performance to end a solid rookie season. Although she skipped the first two events of the season, former Xtreme and three-time world champion Ariana Tricome was invited to compete anyway today, and she certainly lived up to her wildcard billing. In the start gate now, Bec de Rosses is the defending champ here in her home resort. She's an insider's favorite to win the Xtreme again today and potentially finish on the tour podium for the second time. And here she is traversing across to the skier's right-hand side of the face, a very alpine, the most extreme part of the face. She takes a first drop there and another turn to line up this mandatory exit to this top couloir. She sticks that clean and makes her way over to the wall of the couloir to gather her control. Now she's traversing back to the left, obviously making her way down, spotting her next feature. And here it is. This is going to be another big drop, and she sends that one. And the landing is absolutely perfect there for Bec de Rosses, and straight into the finish area for the defending women's ski champion. There's that first jump up top, followed by this second mandatory air to exit the upper part of the face, and then another beautiful air and perfect landing down the bottom. With a score of 88.33, Bec de Rosses moves into first place, and it looks like she's having a hard time believing it. As we make our way back up to the top of the Petit Bec, the contest and title race have both come down to this last run from former pro mogul skier Hedvig Wessel, who has to finish in front of current leader Gerritzen, or just behind her in second place to win the world title. And here is Hedvig on course, getting a feel for the snow and the landings with a first small drop there up top. She looks to be lining up this second feature, but takes it off to the side, really avoiding that big drop. We would have expected to see a backflip or some kind of large air from Hedvig, but it is very, very steep here at the top of the Bec de Rosses. So we won't hold that against her, and she is lining up another feature here. A beautiful drop there with her slough falling down the slope all around her. And she is in a very technical part of the face. It's very steep with lots of exposure and a beautiful air over that little gap there from one wind lip to a next. And now just linking some turns. There is the last wind lip at the bottom of the slope, but I can't tell from this angle if she's going to hit it. No, there it is. She decides against it, which is strange. I thought she would have lined that up for a big backflip. And Bec de Rosses still in the hot seat. Let's have a look at Hedvig's run again. She gets one small drop up top that she sticks cleanly, and then she sends a second one here, which was the highlight of her run. But will that be enough to place second? Now is the moment of truth. 68.33 and third place for Hedvig Wessel, who wonders if she's done enough to win the world title. Elizabeth Gerritzen takes the win at the Xtreme for the second time in a row, with Ariana Tracomi and Hedvig Vessel joining her on the podium. In the final tour ranking for 2021, Elizabeth Gerritzen jumps from 5th to 1st in front of Vessel, who's followed by Vilman, Wittek, and Chubb. The now two-time Xtreme champion has won the Freeride World Tour title with one fantastic run at home here in Verbier, Switzerland.
I'm a bit baffled because I'm really bad at math and I didn't even know this was a possibility. The title is just, I have no words. I really didn't expect it.
Now it's time for the snowboard men, whose scintillating title race wraps up today at the Xtreme Verbier. In the rankings, Blake Moller and Victor de la Rue are the favorites, but Cody Bramwell can take the world title too with a win on the Petit Bec today. Cody Bramwell kicked off the season with his first career victory. He needs another one today to win the world title in only his second year on tour. With a spectacular run, it looks as if his dream of becoming world champion may actually come true. Niels Minnick sends a frontside 360 to ragdoll over some serious exposure, but the world champ regains his rhythm, stomping a major cliff and a sweet backside 360 melon to end his run. Camille Armand starts with some serious air up top, but bailing the first of two big backflips means a 5th place finish for an otherwise spectacular run. Blake Moller injured himself and had to pull out just before the start of his rookie season last year. He's made up for lost time with impressive performances in 2021 and arrives in Verbier wearing the golden bib of the championship ranking leader. Here he is on course at the top of the Petit Bec, coming down on his heel side edge and now linking a few turns to get things under control and regain his bearings. He comes over to the wind lip and throws what looked to be a front side nose bone. Just taking a few more turns here. He decides against that upper wind lip, but is coming down to this big feature down mid-face and into a fantastic backside 360, a big slash, and now lining up another huge cliff there. That transfer was enormous. That's the biggest we've seen anyone take that cliff so far today. And down to the bottom, the Indy air over the wind lip and into the finish area. Here's the backside 360 landing in the bomb hole, but keeping it under control, and the little Indy over the wind lip into the powder.
Oh, what? Oh, you, baby?
Back up to the top now. After winning the last event in Austria, 2019 world champion Victor de la Rue can recapture the world title with a maiden victory at the Xtreme today. With a little coaching from big brother Xavier, a 4-time Xtreme winner, Victor definitely has a shot at the top of the podium. Coming out of start gate number 1, he's lining up this double here and sticks both of those jumps cleanly and pointing it into the fall line with a series of carves to get his speed back under control. Making his way down to that same feature as Blake Moller, sending a backside 360 as well into a layback and then hitting that huge cliff. And full speed ahead down to the finish line, avoiding the wind lip. That was an incredible run from Victor de la Rue, by far the fastest of the day. Here's that floating backside 360 into a layback. The judges could tell that that was not a backseat landing, but a big layback slash. The Frenchman stoked, even more so, with a score of 92.67, which means victory for the rider from the Pyrenees. Victor de la Rue wins the Xtreme on his second try, and after their first runs on the Bec, Cody Bramwell takes second and Blake Moller is third. After the season's grand finale, Victor de la Rue is now a 2-time world champ. Blake Moller takes second, and Cody Bramwell finishes third. Congratulations, guys.
I definitely didn't expect that, but I was just trying to focus on my run and not care about what was happening around. And yeah, my run happened way too fast, but I just made it, so I'm really happy.
It's time for the last contest of the day, the Ski Men, whose events this season have been truly spectacular. If ranking leader Ross Tester finishes top 3, he wins his maiden world title. If not, either of the Swedish world champs, Kristofer Turdell or Rainy Barkered, can take a second world title with a win. The ski instructor from Christchurch, Blake Marshall, makes all of New Zealand proud, stomping 2 big cliffs and sending a bio 720 on the Petit Bec, even if he did backslap the landing. Riding as a wild card in possibly his last participation at the Xtreme, 2013 world champ Drew Tabke lives up to his reputation as the most stylish and surprising skier on tour. With 1 win under his belt, Andrew Pollard celebrates his successful season by sending the massive double up top, getting some serious air on a smooth transfer, and spinning a 360 off the bottom wind lip. 2012 world champ Rainy Barkered knows how to win the Xtreme. He's done it 3 times. Unfortunately, the mayor of Stomptown can't stick this backflip. Aymar Navarro is a fan and rider favorite for his fast skiing and massive jumps. He has 1 podium finish in 5 years on tour for a jaw-dropping run in Andorra. The Petit Bec is perfectly suited to his riding style. Can he blow minds again and best a stacked field today in Verbier? And here he is traversing his way over to skier's right and over some massive exposure. Oh no! What's he doing? Aymar Navarro sending a massive double straight down the steepest, most exposed part of the face of the Petit Bec. That was absolutely crazy. Spectacular skiing from the Spaniard. Oh, and he is stoked. After the traverse, Aymar just turned and pointed it into that gigantic double, which is possibly more incredible with the follow angle from the drone. That was absolutely ridiculous. That's right, out of Val d'Aran in the Spanish Pyrenees, 86.33, and Aymar Navarro sits down in the hot seat. Carl Reinier Eriksen is having his best year on tour and is coming off an equal 3rd place on the Wildseeloader, where he tied with his travel partner Kristofer Turdell. Let's see if he's ready to lay down another stellar run today on the Petit Bec. Dropping that small cliff directly under the start gate to get things going here. Coming down to this cliff and taking it from a completely different angle from anyone else with a transfer over that rock in the landing. Keeping his speed up through this series of turns, headed to the wind lip, and he throws the flat spin 360. He's been talking about that all season, and he has finally thrown that maneuver down here on the Petit Bec today. And they're sending that huge transfer off that big rock down the bottom of the Petit Bec now. The only question, he decided against hitting the wind lip at the bottom of the face, making his way into the finish area. There it is, that flat spin 360 with the Japan grab and a beautiful transfer and a perfect landing for Carl Reinier Eriksen. Just waiting for the score, 83.67, and Carl Reinier Eriksen moves into 2nd place.
2nd place after you, Aymar. Good job. Oh, no.
2018 world champ Kristofer Turdell has had 1 goal this year, win the Xtreme. And if he does, he'll take his 2nd world title as well. And dropping the same cliff directly under the start gate as Carl Reinier Eriksen. They are travel buddies and they do scope their lines together. Hitting this same cliff as well, but with a different trajectory, getting a bit more air. And into some big carves and a little bonus air there in the middle of the face. And now picking a new line from Carl's and sending a massive cliff with his slough rolling over behind him. That was a shot straight out of a ski video. Absolutely fantastic riding so far here from Kristofer Turdell, coming into the bottom wind lip and throwing the backflip and sticking it clean. That was definitely one of the best runs of the day, if not the best run from Kristofer Turdell. There's that first big drop up top, and here he makes his way and opens a new cliff on the face. That was perfect skiing. And there, down the bottom, that backflip, the exclamation point on one of the best runs of the day. 90.67, and Kristofer Turdell takes over the hot seat from Aymar Navarro. 2019 Xtreme champion Vadik Gorak barely got the result he needed in Fieberbrunn to make the cut for the grand finale. But after the contest being canceled last year due to COVID, he's back in Verbier to defend his title and hopefully send another massive backflip. Here he comes down to the double, and he sticks that clean. Plenty of speed, but fully in control of his skis, coming to the wind lip, and he throws a huge 360. Ooh, he almost came unstuck there, but he's still got things under control. Is he going to throw the backflip for us or not? Oh, yes, he is. And there we go. And he stomps it. Vadik Gorak absolutely on fire here on the Petit Bec. And one more backflip for good measure. Is that going to be enough to knock Kristofer Turdell out of the hot seat? Either way, Vadik Gorak is stoked. There's the double up top. The 360 from Vadik Gorak, the right-hand 360 that we've never seen him do before. And the backflip, as we expected, stuck perfectly. Now it's up to the judges. 88 points, and Vadik Gorak jumps into second behind Kristofer Turdell, still sitting in the hot seat.
Only one? Oh, it's Ross now. Whoa, it's in his hands.
It's in his hands indeed. Ross Tester started the season with a win in Andorra and won the last contest in Austria. If he finishes on the podium today, the rookie wins the world title. He starts off by dropping the same cliff directly under the start gate as Kristofer Turdell and Carl Renier Eriksson, and hits the same cliff as the two Swedes as well. Now into this very steep central couloir, he's heading over to the wind lip and throws a bit of a straight air, a spread eagle. We would have expected to see something better from Ross Tester there, a 360 or perhaps a backflip, as he comes down to a part of the face we have seen no skier hit so far today, and throws an enormous backflip and absolutely stomps it in the powder. Now heading down to the wind lip at the bottom. He's going to have to do something big here. That backflip was incredible. Ooh, a bit stuck in some of the tracks left by the other skiers, and a very stylish tail grab, but will that be enough to knock the other three off the podium? Apparently that's not the line Ross planned to do, but there's that first big drop, and then the massive backflip that he stomps perfectly, the highlight of the run. Kristofer waves from the hot seat as Ross waits for his score. 85.67 and fourth position for Ross Tester, which means Kristofer Turdell wins his second world title. Awesome action on the Petit Bec for the ski men as Kristofer Turdell takes the win. Defending champion Vadik Gorak is second, and in third place, it's Freeride hero Aymar Navarro. In the final championship tour ranking, 2018 world champ Kristofer Turdell takes the title again in 2021. Rookie Ross Tester finishes second, and the world champ's travel partner, Carl Renier Eriksson, ends up in third.
I don't know how to describe it. The excitement and nervousness you build up the days before the comp, the night before, it's pretty hard to fall asleep. I can't believe it's true. Like, of course I was doing my best, but you never know where all the other riders are gonna go. It's just unbelievable.
That's that's it for an absolutely incredible 25th edition of the Xtreme Verbier. As always, the Bec de Rosses delivered thrills and spills. Congratulations to the winners and world champions crowned here in Switzerland today. We'll see you next year in the most amazing mountains the planet has to offer with more mind-blowing action from the Freeride World Tour 2022.